create. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you actually made
Yeah.
me think about like going way, way back to like tribal days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the masculinity is about survival.
Right.
And when a woman is taking on the masculine things like paying her bills so she can survive and
Right.
having food so she can survive, like you're in survival mode, which is masculinity.
Right.
Like back in tribal days, the guy went and got food and the wives stayed with the other tribe members and took care of the children.
Right.
And they did, or they made clothes or they did things like that. Like that is where they like got to use their feminine side to
Right.
really provide for not only her family, but the whole tribe community, right? Like they used their strengths, which was the nurturing and the caring and the, you know, homemaking or TP making, I guess you could say back then.
Yeah.
And the guys went out and they
Right.
got the food and that was like the money of that time, right?
Exactly.
Like food was what you needed to survive and
Right.
it was not easy to get. You couldn't just go to the grocery store. You had to go hunt. So like today, making the money is almost like the hunting and
Yeah.
the gathering that the man would do.
Right.
And he's providing that shield. He's providing survival for his
Right.
family with those things. And the woman is, like you said, providing like the home and taking care of the kids and
Yeah.
like caring about the family unit in the ways that she'll do it.
Right. It's
So-
survive and thrive.
Right.
He's the survival. She's the makes you thrive.
Right.
You know. So, but it is important to have those separate roles, and I guess that's where maybe we've kind of already defined some pieces of it. But just
Yeah.
for everyone that doesn't understand masculine versus feminine, the way I would define masculine, right? The masculine energy is analytical, is a rock, hard,
A rock.
right? You know, you can think of a rock like not being swept away by the wind, not emotional,
Yeah.
right? Analytical.
I was just literally thinking of a rock. And I'm like, this is
Like
a guy. A pet
like,
rock.
Yeah, someone you can count on, depend on.
No, I know what you
right?
mean.
Unshifting, and so and it seeking to break through obstacles,
Right.
seeking freedom, right? Those are the things that is masculine, whereas the feminine is sort of the opposite of that, right? The feminine is soft. The feminine is nurturing. The feminine is not thinking about the future, but is in the now, in the present moment. That's dancing, enjoying the pleasures of life. You know what I mean? The man's like, no, we can't. We don't have time for fun. We got to get work done. The
Right.
feminine's
More
enjoying those
serious
things.
and more playful sort of thing.
Yeah, and that is and emotional, right? And the emotional side of things, which neither is good or bad, right? It's like a man. I talked about this in one of my videos about if you just had a masculine world, it would not be a very fun place. It would just be work. It would just be like the Vulcans from Star Trek, where everything is logical, and so the man needs some femininity in his life to actually enjoy life, the thriving part of life. And and if you had a totally feminine world, if it was just feminine, you wouldn't survive. Everyone would be like, oh, well, everything's got to be fair, everything's got to be equal. There would never be, oh, well, we can't kill those people over there because even though we need to survive, like they're just gonna, we.
Are you talking about tribal days
I'm talking
or
about
today
tribal.
days?
Yeah, I mean,
because
more tribal days. But I'm just saying that you wouldn't have people to make the tough decisions that need to be made sometimes. That because of that, because you sometimes you do need to be hard in life, and sometimes you need the softness as well. You have to have a balance of the both. Both are necessary in order to survive as a species, but also in a relationship to survive.
Right.
Because you can't just run everything masculine. And what you see relationships that a lot of times today where it's masculine, right? And a lot of guys set this up and they don't even realize it. Especially a lot of guys that I talk to in personal development, because they get so good at developing themselves. They're like, I'm going to the gym. I'm working on my business. I wake up at 5:40 every morning. I do my things. I plan out my day, right? And then they meet a girl and they're like, all right, I got a buddy now, and they start treating her like a buddy instead of a woman, instead of feminine. And so like, okay, we're going to wake up at 5:40 in the morning and we're going to write down our to-do list and we're going to work on our businesses together and all these things and, go to the gym, right? And a lot of times the woman kind of goes along with that, and then, their sex life is gone because there's no attraction anymore because they're the same. There's no polarization. They're the same. And so they lose attraction for each other. They start to fight. They start to have problems, or they just become best friends. And there's no actual sexual attraction. There's no chemistry.
Romantic.
Right? Yeah, and that's necessary. It needs to be there. That's what holds the people together, is that connection. Which is the polarity. I think more so women resist the idea, right?
Yeah.
No man is going to tell me what to do. I don't need a leader. In fact, I just heard one of my coaching clients a discussion with his ex-girlfriend. She said, I don't need a leader. Why do you think that women are so opposed to this kind of idea of a man?
I think
being
it's
a
because
man
they
or
don't
leading?
respect the man enough, or they think that they know more than the man. And sometimes they do.
Sometimes, yeah, for
But
sure.
sometimes you need to realize that man's probably not for you then. Like, unless you want to be the masculine and you want a feminine guy, but that normally isn't a very good dynamic. Just because it's not what naturally occurs, right? So, like,
some people make
does it
that
work?
Some people
sure,
do. Some
because
people
it
do.
is that polarity, like we
Right.
talked about.
Yeah.
But it is a little off just because it's not the natural like responses. It's like a woman learned to be more masculine and a guy learned to be more feminine.
Right.
And so it's not like their natural way that they want to be. Like, do they exist still in that state? Yes, because that's what they know. And, a lot of people exist in just what they know and what they're comfortable with now, even if it's not the best for them.
Right.
So, like, I think that ultimately, if a woman doesn't respect your leadership or like respect you as the masculine part of the relationship, she might still be operating from a just really highly masculine place, and your masculinity is not overpowering hers.
Right.
Because
It's the
like I
alpha
said,
female.
I was pretty masculine before you came along.
Right.
But you overpowered that.
Right.
And to a point where, not like disrespectfully.
No.
Not like, in any other way besides me being like, wow, like he is a man. He knows what he's doing. I trust that he knows what he's doing. Is there still times where I feel like I might know a better solution to a problem we're having?
Right.
Sure. But, we've had those discussions and we've worked through those sort of things. But at the end of the day,
I listen to you.
right.
And I take it
well,
in.
that's the key. And that's
then I
what
make
women
my
are
decision.
afraid of. That's what I think they're afraid of, is that
Right.
they don't want some guy to be like, I'm the leader, you're going to do this.
Right.
And a lot of men that are confused about masculinity,
Right.
they think, okay, I just need to tell her what to do, or I need to be bossy. I need
Right.
to be an asshole. I need to, just tell her to do it, and she needs to just do it.
Right.
That's not how it works. You've talked about the captain of the ship thing. And
Right.
so, and a woman's not going to respect you and trust you if she feels like you're her manager.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
or you're
Yeah.
like, you're just telling her what to do. Like,
Right.
that's not the same as a leader.
Right.
A
It's
leader,
servant leadership.
right? Like they want somebody to just do whatever they want, and that's why those guys are like, why can't we go back to the 50s, the 40s? You know, like a woman was doing whatever a man said because she could not go get a job. She had no money.
Right.
She had nothing. So they were more submissive, but it wasn't because she wanted to. It's because
Right.
she needed to survive.
Right.
And the difference is a woman will want to submit to you and follow your leadership if she feels like you can handle life better than she's already doing it.
Right.
And the thing is that women do have jobs now. They can do a lot of the stuff like get a job, have a bank account, vote now.
Right.
So men have to bring more to a woman's table
Yeah, absolutely.
than back in the day.
Right.
Because back in the day, if you had a job, you were
that's
like, you won.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
that's why so many people too got married so quickly because it's like, oh, he has a job. He's going to like take care of
Take care
Okay,
of me.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
let me wife him up real
Yeah.
quick so that I don't have to worry about being homeless or whatever women had to worry about
Right.
back then because they just couldn't have a job. They couldn't make their own money. So I think that now men have to kind of step up and prove that they have more to give to a woman than just financial security. Like a woman will like value that. And some women, that's all they value still.
Right.
Which is, I don't think, the right way to be at all either. But now that a woman can have her own job and survive, right? Like now she's the hunter gatherer and the women of the tribe.
Yeah.
A man has to bring something else.
Right.
And so it should be that masculine energy. It should be that he is so
competent,
like masculine, and competent and like knows what he's doing in those areas, that she can now give you those masculine responsibilities that she has.
Right.
And that a lot of times is financial. It is, you know, maybe taking on stressors of hers that men can handle.
Right. Making decisions.
Making a decision that she doesn't have to be like, oh, he's gonna, you know, go, you know, women can be worried that men are gonna spend money on stupid things too. So it's like, you know, being like, can he even handle his finances? We were talking about this the other day that like, if a man can't handle his finances, I would tell a woman, leave.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Better than